Number 1 is Nature Strip. He runs for the slot holder, the TAB. James McDonald is the rider. Chris Waller is the trainer.
Well, we all know he's got those freakish qualities when on song, and it's all up to him because he's got a mind of his own. But if he gets his chance to pace himself up front, he has an enormous winning chance. He's 4 from 5, third up.
I've been asked a lot about him this week because obviously he hasn't had the perfect preparation, and we've known that and seen that all the way through. On form, you know, it's hard to really give him a solid push, but on looks, I haven't seen anything really wrong with him. I've only seen him gradually improve through each run. His coat is now at his absolute peak, so that's certainly cleaned up, and he's looking nice and fit and forward. And he has to be fit. He has to be forward in condition because he's got such a rip-roaring racing style that needs him rock-hard fit. You're getting that today. It will answer a lot of questions, but he certainly can't have a line ruled through him.
He ran 4th last year, and this horse, number 2, Trekking, beat him home. He was in 3rd spot. Josh Parr rides for James Cummings, and they race for the Max Whitby and Neil Werrett slot.
Well, we know how tough a competitor he is. He ran a Butler running 3rd in this race last year. I thought he did enough in the Group 1 Moir first up over an unsuitable distance. Minds his own business from a good draw, has last look at them.
Yeah, last time I saw this guy was at the trials. I didn't get the opportunity to see him in the Moir, but I've seen him at the trials. I've seen how he's progressed through this campaign from the trial into this second up performance. I think that he looks in great order. He's very much a plain Jane. He's not anything that sort of jumps out at you and says, I'm this big, bold sprinter, but they come in all shapes and sizes, and he's certainly one of the smaller types who always seems to perform well looking like this.
Here's the horse that's going to run favourite. He is the outright clear favourite now, number 3, Classique Legend. Kerrin McAvoy, a 2-time winner of this race. Les Bridge is the trainer. The owner of this horse purchased the slot from the ATC, Mr. Bonho.
He's ready. He's ready to go. He's 3rd up here. Hard not to be impressed with his 2 runs back. Brilliant winning the shorts. Not much went right in the Premier, but he had the run. He had to have the tough run. Went wide and a sitting shot in fast time. He's got the best draw of the favourites. Hard to beat. Les
Bridge has timed this guy's run to absolute perfection. You can see that he is quite a barrely type and carries a bit of natural condition all over, but each run he's gradually improved, and you can see now that coat's perfect. He's absolutely peaking. He's on song. He looks as though he's a bit more sort of switched on today. Sometimes he can be really relaxed and not really sort of look as though he's very interested, but you can see today he's ready to go.
Santa Ana Lane, number 4, becomes another horse to join Red Zeller's, a horse who's run in 3 TAB Everest for 3 different riders. Sam Clipperton jumps on board today for the Freedmans out of Mornington.
How quickly we forget he's close second in this race last year. He's an 8-year-old now, but his track and distance form speaks for itself. Impossible to ride him off after one first up run. He's huge odds here.
Yeah, he looks as though he's ticked over quite well as far as fitness is concerned. You can see he's getting a little bit warm through that flank area and in between his legs, and that's common practice for this guy. I've seen him in a muck lather and run really well, so I'm not worried about the sweating. He does look as though he's actually quite forward in condition. I was expecting him to be a bit bigger, but he looks as though they've done plenty of work with him, and he's obviously been primed for this occasion.
Santa runs for the Coolmore slot. In the star slot is number 5, Behemoth, Nashrawilla, and David Jolly.
He's flying this preparation with a Group 3, 2 Group 1 wins, has form around G-Chart Trekking in the good one in May. Back to 1200 here, but the good draw offsets that. He'll be strong at the finish.
He will, yes. Look, he looks in great order. He's a lovely, big, strong type. Haven't seen him for quite some time, but I'm always impressed every time I do see him, and he'll run a great race from the nice, kind draw he's got.
Now number 6, Bivouac, racing for Godolphin in their colours. Glenn Boss, 1 ride in an Everest for 1 win on Yes, Yes, Yes. James Cummings, the trainer.
Yeah, it would have been close to top pick for me from a good draw, but it's a typical Godolphin setup here. He bolted in the Newmarket second up last preparation, leaving G-Char in his wake there. So lovely tick over trial since. He's ready to explode.
Yeah, it looks magnificent, Ronnie, and has always presented well. He's very much a relaxed, switched off, calm customer, and he doesn't let much faze him. Today is one of those days.
Here is number 7, Guitra, running for Inglis. Jason Collett has won the Kosciuszko earlier today on It's Me. He lines up on Guitra, the South Aussie, trained by Gordon Richards.
Perfectly trained horse. I love the setup with him with 42 days between runs. That's his go. He's a giant killer from South Australia. He paid to them in the Concord. all the form around him is outstanding, and he never lets his supporters down. Nice trial since, ready to go.
If there's a couple of horses in this field who look as though they've gone ahead in leaps and bounds, he's one of them. You can see that he's got a perfect coat on him. You can see he's really built up and got a lot more physically stronger since I saw him. I don't know this guy very well. You've got to remember, I've only seen him once under the race conditions, but you can see that he's just in a really good frame of mind. His form is impeccable, his looks are impeccable today, and he's going to give this race a hell of a shake.
OK, they're about to go out. My runners hold the slot for Eduardo. They race in the Racing League colours. Rachel King rides in the Everest today for trainer Joe Pride.
Brilliant trial since his last run. Ripper horse, flying for Joe, and ready, rolls forward here into the top 3. Will give a good sight.
Well, absolutely. He's a tough contender, and he's in that same basket of improving from his last start performance.
OK, dollar for dollar number 9 in the Aqua slot, and their colours. Tim Clark rides for Tony and Calvin McAvoy.
Yeah, late inclusion here. A winning surprise, but he got a beautiful draw.
Yeah, exactly right. Look, it turned out well, but I prefer a few others. OK,
now Tefane is about to go down through the tunnel. We get to the 3 mares. Number 10, Tefane, Tommy Berry on board for Mike Moroney. It races in the Yulong slot, and their colours today.
Don't ride her off. She's a Group 1 winner at this track. 2 runs have her at a peak, and 3 of her 5 wins are at 1,200 metres. She's a definite chance.
She looks magnificent. I said to Ronnie off camera, I said, geez, there's a few horses in this field. I'm going to mention one later on whose coats have just absolutely blossomed, and she's in that category. OK, we're going to get a view of her coming through Tefane. Tommy Berry on board. Mike Moroney, of course, can't be here today, stuck in Victoria, but Tefane is a Group 1 winner on this track of the All-Age Stakes. Now, following through is Libertini, number 11. Regan Bayliss rides. He rode in the first Everest on Redkirk Warrior. Anthony Cummings is the trainer. James Harron, who picked Red Zell in the opening Everest, the first ever Everest to win it. He's got Libertini running today in Jerry and Singo's colours.
I love her parade today. Love it. She is perfect. She set the tongues wagging with an explosive win in that very fast time after 30 weeks off. Only has to reproduce that performance, and from what I can see here, she should.
She looks magnificent, doesn't she? Again, this was the other horse we were talking about. She's just come on leaps and bounds. She was looking a little bit dry in the coat when we first saw her first start, but you can see that that run has brought her on. The oils have gone all the way through. She's really healthy inside, so she's radiating it outside. She gets a little bit warm in that flank area. That's nothing to be concerned about. I've seen her time and time again perform at her optimum, sweating that little bit in that flank area.
And Hortbury on her. Number 12, Brenton Avdulla rides for Chris Waller. The slot holders, 3 Bridges thoroughbreds. They purchased from Waller Racing, and Chris racing one of his own.
Yeah, she's got a fantastic winning record and a will to win. Gets a cosy run, tries hard. This is her biggest test today.
It is, and she looks as though she's been primed perfectly for that, so absolutely no knock on her parade whatsoever.
It's a long way from Galway to the top of the mountain, David Jolly, but you're here with Behemoth, the big horse, and he's been here before, so back to Sydney for a second attempt at an even bigger prize today.
Yeah, that's right, Greg. He's, you wouldn't have envisaged that we'd be back here for this race 12 months ago, but here he is, and look, he's in good form.
What sort of a run do you think he'll get from gate number 2, and does he mind being in behind runners at all?
Well, surprisingly enough, he's a big horse, but his best runs have come from those low draws and smothers. I think he, you know, he loves being covered up, and obviously we can if we can get a suck along behind the speed and sort of Nash can give him a bit of a room at some stage. I think he'll run well.
OK, good luck.
Thank you.
Good on you, David. Great to see you here in Sydney. And Joe Pride lining up his first ever runner in the Everest with Eduardo. He's got about 2,000 owners to look after. Big moment for your stable.
COVID's over.
Big race. The way it's all gone, so yeah, as you say, a lot of people supporting us today, and let's hope we don't let them down.
How will he run, Joe?
He'll run really well. He's a good horse. He's just a really honest, consistent performer. Actually, that probably doesn't do him justice. He's a really fast horse. He's got quality, and he'll run well.
Are we going to see fireworks early?
Look, we've got our own plan. We're just going to go out and be positive on our horse. I told Rachel she's just got to ride her own race. I know that sounds like a bit of a cliche, but she does. She can't be worried about everything around her. She's just got to get him into the most comfortable rhythm she can, and that'll allow him to run the best 1,200 metres he possibly can.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Joe Pride.
Here he comes, Classique Legend up in the gates. The grey goes forward, trained by a legend in himself, Les Bridge. And Libertini, the last to go in, trained by Anthony Cummings. So Libertini moves forward And we're just about right now. The light is on, and we're ready for the TAB Everest of 2020. They're set to go. Gates are back, they're off and racing, and Eduardo jumped well. Classique Legend actually jumped okay, but being restrained, and now Nature Strip. Eduardo fight out the early lead. Aubrey on hers going forward together with Dollar for Dollar on the rails. Classique Legend snagging back, looking for a spot. Racing on the outside there of Trekking. Then came Behemoth. Libertini back in the field, caught wide. They're followed then by Guitra down on the fence from Bivouac to Fane. And Santa Ana Lane's the last one. Eduardo showing great speed, and Eduardo leads clearly by 2.5 on Nature Strip. Aubrey on third. They're well strung out. 2 further back to Dollar for Dollar. They're followed after 3 lengths in the field to Trekking from Behemoth. Classique Legend looking for a bit of cover now. Libertini the outside. Guitra being roused along from Bivouac. Santa Ana Lane and Tafane. Eduardo at the 300 metres, a length clear. Nature Strip's been in his slipstream, giving chase. 2 after Aubrey on her. Classique Legend 4 off. The grey flash is starting to cut loose. Here he comes. Classique Legend storms to the front and kicked away. The grey flash is now an Everest legend. Bivouac home to second. Photo for third. Trekking and Guitra. Then Santa Ana Lane from Aubrey on her and Nature Strip. Further back to Libertini, Tafane, Behemoth, Eduardo, and Dollar for Dollar's last in.
Carmel, this horse is the love of your life.
He's irreplaceable to me. I love him so much. I've been obsessed with him since I laid eyes on him. That is a great horse. We have seen something special today.
It was very special.
Thank you.
Kerrin McAvoy sure knows how to do it on this day.
He is a world-class jockey. You know, that's why he's on the horse, you know. I'm just so pleased.
Carmel, I fear I'm not going to get a lot out of Les a little
Probably
bit later.
Not. No, look, I'm so proud of the horse. And, you know, to think that I bought him as a yearling and I've been able to look after him, it just means the world to me. You know, I might have to retire now.
What do you think this will mean to Les, watching him in the process?
Oh, look, he has been so confident, and I've just gone under the radar. I've said, I don't want to hear it, Les. I'm going to Goulburn for a maiden, you know, but he has been very bullish for a long time. I mean, we've looked at this horse in the stable since the 21st of March, be a very unorthodox preparation. But, gee, what a marvel Les Bridge is. He is a legend.
And the amazing thing is, this horse, the legend, was going back to Hong Kong. It looked like we lost him to Australia.
Well, he was on a flight twice, and the gods shone down upon me, and he came back to me. I just cannot tell you how much this horse means to me.
We can tell.
Thank you.
Good on you, Carmel.
Thank you.
Lizzie, congratulations, Les. Well, you told everyone.
I've been telling you for 3 months. How much start he is on?
Well, I tell you what, Les, everyone listened because they backed him off the map. He was favourite today for everyone.
I was dirty on the other day when you tipped Dirty Works to beat him, but I've forgiven you now.
Les, I've asked you before, but what makes him so special? That was unbelievable today.
Well, one of my greatest friends was Percy Sykes, who I spent a lot of time with, and he said it's all in the genes. Some horses just get all the good genes, and that's the only way. I'm just repeating his words.
Les,
but this horse, he's got a girth on him that deep, and he's just got a big V8 motor. It's unbelievable.
Has he been good from day one?
Yeah, he has.
And he just kept getting better.
Well, you saw that, didn't you?
And I think he might be even better again in time, Les, for a horse that you were going to lose. He was on a plane.
He'll still probably go to Hong Kong, you know. We'll just see if we can see what happens.
Lock him up, Les.
Well, we kidnapped him last time.
You've won some big races. You've won a Melbourne Cup. You've won a Golden Slipper. You've trained great horses. What are you feeling now about this race?
Well, the horse that I got the most pleasure out in my life was Hot Danish, because at the time my wife was dying with cancer, and every time that horse won, it gave her a lift.
Right.
So there'll never be a horse to replace Hot Danish in my sentiments. Yeah. And she knew Peggy. Took her on a holiday when she was a kid, you know.
Yeah. That's Mandy here. Yeah, she was a special horse.
Yeah.
There's been plenty of special ones in your stable over the years. A lot of them.
Yeah.
Does he get special treatment?
Well, Carmel nearly lives with him. If she was married, she'd be divorced, I reckon.
How much time does she spend with him?
Too much.
How much time do you get to spend with him now?
Very little.
Hey?
I work him. My job's to get him fit.
You've done that.
Yeah.
Great moment.
Thank
well
you.
done. Good on you, Les. Congratulations. Here's Kieran.
Well done, Kieran. Well, he's just talking to his family, all the people that support you behind the scenes. But how far out did you think you were going to win that race?
It was a funny one because I sort of needed to come back behind trekking to get a slot, and then they went quicker, and then I just had to ride my race, and I looked up at 600 and they were well in front. They were off, and I thought, far out, if Nature Strip and the companions are back to their best, they're going to take a bit of running down. But full credit to my horse with that cover and soft time of it early, he was able to really power when I asked him, and soon after straightening I was confident I was going to pick them up. So yeah, just a marvellous job. Thrilled to get the horse over the line. Les has been done. He's pulled a masterstroke off. He kept him in training from the middle of July, and Carmel's attended to him like a baby, and yeah, it's been fantastic. It's an unbelievable feeling to win another one.
You won 3 Everests. Can you put into words what this particular one means to you, though?
I mean, look, every big win's special. I was lucky to be able to team up with Redzel sort of soon after he got racing with the Snowdens. And this horse is a horse that Carmel threw me on and Les threw me on really early in his career, and he showed instant brilliance. And I backed him to the hilt from then on to win a good race. And last year was a tough call. I had to stick solid with Redzel on the Snowdens, and this horse was a little bit unlucky. But we've all been on the same page that the horse has come back bigger and better, so it's extra special, that's for sure.
And having the family here on track, I mean, it's been a tough enough year, hasn't it, for everyone, but to have your family here on track witnessing this as well, it must be a special moment.
Yeah, it's great, to have the kids growing up and really understanding what goes on and what Dad tries to achieve. And Kathy's been fantastic all week. She's been flat out with them and allowing me to do my prep and get ready, and I've got a big team behind me. I'd like to thank all of them, and I know who they are, and yeah, it's an extra special day.
The last word on Les, he's a marvel, isn't he?
He is a marvel. He's been great. He doesn't say too much, and he gave me no instructions. I virtually said what I was going to plan to do, which is fantastic from jockey's point of view. You've got backing from the trainer, and he's trained some champions, and yeah, this horse is on the top of his list.
Do you think you'll get much out of him afterwards?
He just chatted for 5 or 7 minutes then. I said, come on, Les, that's the most he's chatted in about 10 years.
Well, you know what?
He might have a couple of beers tonight and we'll get him chirping.
Yeah, well, remember the Rabbitohs tonight, so yeah. That's the key. But well done, congratulations on your 3rd Everest.
Thanks very much.